Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. So today I have an interesting video for you guys. I got these little pots here from Kmart. I think they're like terracotta or like clay or something. And I wanted to see if I can customize them with these Sharpies here. Now these Sharpies I've had for quite a while. You probably see that I have a few old Sharpie art videos. And I wanted to get them out again because they're really fun to use. And yeah, let's see if they work with these pots. Now I got these pots from Kmart and they are pretty cheap. And you know how I love my Kmart stuff. I always love testing out like art supplies or craft supplies from Kmart. And these are no exception. Now I have previously done a few videos where I customized pots, terracotta pots, using my paint pens. And I thought that this was a nice little difference. I'm really curious to see how the Sharpies will work on a porous surface like this clay here. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. So the first thing I want to draw on one of these pots is a butterfly. I had the idea that I could maybe like illustrate some butterflies on one because this is like a plant pot, so you'd think that it would have like plants in it, and butterflies are attracted to plants, and it's all part of that naturey sort of theme. So yeah, I also just kind of felt like drawing butterflies as well. At the moment I'm drawing, I believe it's an emperor butterfly. I always get confused between emperor and monarch, but yeah. I decided to go with blue obviously because that's the color of the butterfly, and I do have a few different blues at my disposal, and I just started off with a sort of light blue outline so that I could get the rough shape, and then I went in with a medium blue and I tried to see if I could blend with these, and surprisingly these Sharpies actually blended on this like surface, which is really interesting because it's kind of hard to get Sharpies to blend on paper, and paper is quite absorbent, and once you get it down on there it's hard to like lift it back up, especially with Sharpies. You can do that with Copics, but like there's something different, and yeah, I don't know, but they seem to lift quite well. Even when I did like a yellow over the top of like orange or red, it almost like absorbed into the surface. I don't know if it's actually doing that or not, but like it worked really well with the whole lightening technique that you usually see with Copics on paper. But anyways, I got the rough sort of color designs down of a couple butterflies, and then I realized I didn't have a black. I don't know where it went. I did have a black Sharpie somewhere, but it's not with me. So I realized I'm probably gonna have to color theory the shit out of this to see if I can like make a black, or at least, you know, a dark enough color where I can get like those like black dark details and it would still look good. So I decided, since I have done the main colors but no black yet for the first two butterflies, I moved on to the third butterfly on the back of this pot here. There's 3 total on this pot, and I decided to go in with the colors and stuff first, just like before, and then we will come back in later and see if we can test some things out to get a dark enough color for black. Now this butterfly, I don't know the name of it, but it is green and it has some like really bright green stripes on its wings. It's very, very pretty, and there's a little contrast in this butterfly too, so I had to sort of blend in some blue into that green, and it actually worked pretty well. I really love like mixing colors and you know, just using a bit of color theory to, you know, bend the colors to your will and get a nice illustration. So yeah, I added like some really dark blue into the green, and that layered over pretty nicely and made a really nice sort of deep green color. And I realized that I do have a navy blue marker, like a navy blue Sharpie. So I decided to try and see if I could use that for the black. Now it looks pretty nice. It's not perfect obviously, and it kind of blends in just a little bit too much with the rest of the blue, but I realized when I moved on to the monarch butterfly here. I believe it's the monarch. Is monarch the orange one? I don't know. Anyways, I realized when I laid it over the sort of reddish parts of the shadows, it turned really nice and dark. And I was like, okay, that's going to be my black for this video. The dark red with the navy blue looks pretty nice, and it's quite deep as well. It's not pure black, but it's good enough. And honestly, I kind of like how it adds like a little bit of color into there. It's not like proper black, so when I go over like colors, you're not really losing any color, if that makes sense. Speaking of color, when I got those butterflies done, I felt like there was still something missing, so I decided to color in the background of these the butterflies and make this really colorful because it seems like I enjoy that. And I decided to go with yellow because it was nice and light, and there wasn't really any other yellow parts in any of the illustration other than subtle yellow highlights in the orange, and I felt like it worked pretty well, especially with the green butterfly, because there's like a really light greenish like tone that works well with the yellow. And here is the results for it, and honestly I really like this one. I think it turned out pretty good. So for this next one, I was quite inspired by the butterfly one, and I decided then that I wanted to make these a little set. So to make them a set, I decided on 3 different bugs, and I picked my 3 favorite bugs because, you know, you draw things that you like, I guess. So first one was butterflies, and this next one, as you can probably guess by the yellow tones and the orange tones that I'm adding on here, that this is a bee. Honestly, I love bees. They are essential to the environment, and I also have a bee tattoo because you know, they're very important and people need to stick up for them. Now I noticed right after I drew the wings of this bee here, the wings are kind of a little bit too small for its quite big abdomen, and this was very apparent after I drew the legs. I probably should have drawn the legs a little bit shorter, but I drew them to scale to the abdomen, and then this bee kind of looks a little bit silly with its little wings instead of like bigger wings. So I tried to like thicken them and make it a bit bigger, and honestly it turned out all right, but I think I can do better with the other 2 bees, so let's do that. Now the second bee, I was looking up pictures of like different bee varieties, and I really liked this one because it's got like a little bit of a gradient spot on its like its chest piece. I don't know what the chest piece is called, but it also has these nice stripes along the abdomen, and where the black is, it sort of blends into a little bit of orange and then like the yellow, and I think that just looks really nice. It's got like a little bit of a sunburst look to it that I really like. And then obviously the head and the legs, and the legs actually had like a little bit of yellow like in them as well. They weren't pure black. Now I'm drawing in the wings, and I'm trying my best to draw them to scale this time, and make sure that they're actually like nice and long so that they can carry this bee, you know, distances. And I think that this guy turned out pretty nicely, as you can see here. Now there's room for one more, so we're going to add a new bee after I just, you know, adjust things with that other wing because I'm still not 100% happy with it, but it is what it is. Now this next bee, you can probably recognize it. I needed to draw this one because it is the most funniest looking and cutest bee. It is a bumblebee. I really love these guys because they just look so funny with their like big fluffy looking bodies, and like their wings actually are kind of small compared to their body, and I have no idea how they fly but they look really cute. And you know what, I decided after I did that bee that I was going to color in the background a nice bright pink, because we had the yellow background last time, so why not go for like a full-on magenta. I think it would work really nice with the warm colors on the bee here, as you can see, and the wings with the light sort of bluish grey would stand out pretty nicely as well. And we have like a little happy bee pot here. Maybe I can like plant some flowers in it and like maybe maybe bees can like visit it. I have no idea. I think that this pot's a little bit too small for flowers anyways, but look at it, it's really cute and I love it. So for the final one, I'm wondering if you guys can guess what the next bug is. It is pretty obvious, I think, but I don't know because I know what bug it is. But I'm drawing a big red circle, as you can see. And yes, it is a very cute bug. I have an affiliation for like little cute things like butterflies and bees, and this is no exception. As you can see, it is a ladybug or a ladybird, and there's actually quite a few different varieties of ladybugs that I have learned. I learned a thing. There's quite a lot of different varieties. Not all of them are red and not all of them have spots, interestingly. So there's a fun fact for the day. So the first one, as you can see here, is your straightforward, like typical ladybug or ladybird. Quite cute, nice and round and plump. And now we are moving on to a next one. And in the reference that I used for this one, it had more of like an orangey kind of color. And this was where I got a little bit annoyed because the orange kind of just turns out to be like a light red. Even though I am drawing a ladybug, and that's not the worst thing when you're drawing a ladybug and it turns out red, but for some reason on this surface the orange marker kind of like it's more reddy pink, which is fine, but I kind of wanted a little bit more color variation there. But honestly, it still looks good and it's a different color, as you can see here. And for this ladybug, I decided to turn it sideways, and the colors on it, or not the colors but the patterns, I don't know why I'm saying that, the patterns isn't exactly spots. As you can see, like they're sort of like more splotches or like patches. And now I'm just adding some yellow highlights to him because I wanted this sort of more orangey, but it is what it is. So for the next ladybug, as you can see here, it's a little bit different to the first two that I drew, and that's because I wanted to draw a ladybug with its wings out. Did you know that the red spotty parts on its back aren't actually its wings? They're like this little cover, this little shell part that pops open, and then the wings come out, and they're much bigger than the little covers, which is interesting because they must like be folded up in there somehow, which is really cool. But yeah, I just wanted to include that because I always thought that it was cute. Now for the next one, because I decided to add a few extra ladybugs into this because ladybugs are quite small and they're kind of less detailed than bees and butterflies. So I decided to include a few more ladybugs to make this still like just as interesting as the others. And I decided to go for a sort of pinkish one as well as a sort of darkish red one. And I think that they look really cute there too, the little ones like intermingling with the bigger ones. So for the background color, I decided on this sort of like a cyan-y color. And I'm wondering if you guys have noticed that I've done this on purpose. I actually decided to do the backgrounds for these free pots and make them sort of go together nicely in a set, just like how they all have different bugs. These have different primary colors of cyan, magenta, and yellow. And I just think that they turned out really, really cute here, as you can see. And I think that they fit together quite well. One thing I noticed while using these is that the sort of clay pot is quite abrasive, and it kind of like flattened my nibs a little bit on these Sharpies, as you can see, and that kind of is funny, but I'm definitely gonna probably have to replace these next time if I want to use them again. I am quite heavy-handed when I draw though, so maybe you might not have this kind of issue. To be honest though, I found this really, really fun and satisfying. It scratched the same itch as the POSCA pens on pots. However, I didn't have to wait for any paint to dry, so that was very convenient. And this sort of COPICS style coloring and blending was very satisfying and easy for me to do as well, because I do that quite a lot. And honestly, I had a really good time. These pots turned out really cute, and I think that they suit each other quite well in this little set. So anyways, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I had a lot of fun making it, and please comment below and let me know if you've ever customized a flower pot before, because I do recommend it. It is quite fun, and then you have like this cute little pot that you can like put a plant or maybe put some pens or something like that. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Please stay safe out there, and I shall see you hopefully in my next video. Bye everyone.